Hello brothers and welcome back to another video. So today we're going to talk about the possible return of Constantin Valdor in the current 40k storyline. I would actually want this chap to return more than a loyalist Primarch. I know that may be absolutely heretical coming from my lips, but this guy has got it all. So let's jump in and let's have a little discussion about him. Now, for those of you who don't really know that much about him, I'm briefly going to sum up some information about him. So he was the first Captain General of the Legio Custodes. The Custodes, of course, are basically the Emperor's bodyguard. He fought with the Emperor all the way through the Unification Wars and Terror, the Great Crusade, and of course all the way through the Horus Heresy until the Emperor was put on the Golden Throne. Now, a lot of people, myself included, actually thought that Valdor would meet his end at the Siege of Terror. But since we have the Custodi Codex, which came out with 8th edition, there is information in that stating that he survived. He actually survived the Siege of Terror and went missing the same time as a certain Primarch, and that certain Primarch was Leman Russ. Now, there is a story that briefly covers this, and it's called Two Metaphysical Blades by Chris Wright. Chris Wright is a god among men when it comes to writing. It's over on the Black Library website if you want to go and get the short story. I think it's £2.50 the last time I checked, if I'm not mistaken. Basically, what it is that Valdor's spear and the spear of Leman Russ are basically twin blades. They're both cast, from the same kind of method and at the same time and stuff like that. So they share a fate with each other, let's say. And when Leman Russ disappeared and he vanished into wherever he went, Valdor basically at the same time vanished as well. There was really no explanation why he left. Like, he didn't give a reason to any of the custodies or anything around him. He was there 1 minute and the next day he was just gone, and they had to elect a new Captain General and all that kind of stuff. Now the true question is, where did he go? Why did he go? And how could he return? Is he still alive? That's probably the biggest question. I would personally say yes, Constantin Valdor is still alive. And I would personally say that wherever Leman Russ is, Constantin Valdor is not that far behind, or he's actually with him. His relationship with Leman Russ actually grew somewhat after the heresy, let's say. There was like a little moment in that Metaphysical Blades book where it was a tad emotional. I won't say, well, it was emotional as you can get between a Custoda and a Primarch, let's say. So, they weren't crying on each other's shoulders. There was like a mutual agreement of respect, let's say, and that's as far as it went. But it was a really cool scene, really awesome scene. Now, I personally think that Constantin Valdor is still alive. He's still around. He's kicking ass somewhere in the great galaxy, because this is Constantin Valdor. Constantin Valdor was the first Captain General, and what that means is that you are an absolute monster when it comes into combat. It was rumored that this guy could go toe-to-toe with Primarchs. I think it was stated that he dueled Horus in the cages, so just not any kind of Primarch. He went against like one of the peak Primarchs, if you really see Horus. Well, I see Horus as a peak Primarch, so this guy can definitely hold his own. It's I've actually seen a lot of rumors saying that basically he is a Primarch really, but he's the Emperor's bodyguard Primarch. I don't really go down that route, because I think the Primarchs were made differently, of course, with all the chaos magic, or whatever the Emperor did that way. This guy was crafted the way Custodes are crafted. A lot of people always think that Custodes are basically like bigger Space Marines. They're not. It's like comparing an Imperial Guardsman to a Space Marine. That's what you need to compare Space Marines to Custodes like. It's a complete different way of making someone. It's an incredible process on how a Custode is made. It's not just like the mass produced, like this single one person is crafted and sculpted like a statue, like a gift, like a piece of art, let's say. So for me, he's around, he's kicking, but where is it? Where is it? What's he doing? Who's he with? Is he just on his own, fighting in a dark corner of the galaxy, just trying to fight in the Emperor's name still? Did he leave on like a personal quest? Like, we all know the old story of Lehman Russ is that he went to find like the Tree of Life to bring back so the Emperor could be resurrected and all that kind of stuff. I personally think that Valdor had just had enough. He basically saw that he failed his duty. His duty was to protect the Emperor, and the Emperor was entombed on the Golden Throne. So I see that he failed his duty, and he basically went out there to try and redeem himself. We all know that Custodes are basically immortal anyway, so even if the 10,000 years has passed and he's been actually living in like the real time of time, then he probably wouldn't have, aged that much anyway. Maybe, like he may have a bit of grey hair here and there after 10,000 years, but as to being like weakened and like an old man kind of thing, no way. Valdor would still be in his prime. He would still be that killer-esque type of character. So with him returning to the Imperium, let's just say that one day Valdor just walked back. He was like, I have returned, I have suffered, I have done my penance, let's say, and I am back to serve the Imperium once again. First things first, I don't think he would try and retake his role as Captain General. I think Valoris would try to push it onto him, saying, leaders again, leaders, you are the greatest of us. But I don't think he would take that. I would see him more now as a personal, I wouldn't say bodyguard to Guilliman, but someone who would court Guilliman, someone who would sorry, I meant be in his court, not actually court him, like go out with him. No, Valdor's not like that. Yeah, but I see him being more like a word of wisdom in Guilliman's ear, like, when it comes to strategy, when it comes to diplomacy, all that kind of stuff, really helping Guilliman where Guilliman needs that help, because this guy has got a massive amounts of experience when it comes to leading armies, when it comes to battle strategy and stuff like that. This guy was around even before Guilliman was a thought in the Emperor's head. He was purging the Emperor's wars way before any Primarchs or Space Marines ever, started to march forth into the galaxy. So this chap knows his stuff. So I definitely don't see him returning to the Custodes, and I personally like that. I think that would be really, really kick-ass, because then you have this character who is a Custode. He's got this battle prowess of a Custode. He's one of the greatest, if not greatest, Custodes, but he's not a part of the Custodes. He's his own person, going around helping the Imperium where the Imperium needs its help. I think it would be a big shake-up as well when it comes to the lore and things, because we all want a Primarch to return. We all want a loyalist Primarch to return. There's far too many damn traitors out at the moment. I'm at the top of this pile shouting, give me a damn Primarch. But with Valdor's return, it could be something different, because when a Primarch comes back, hey, it's a Primarch, Primarchs, rah, all that kind of stuff. But if Valdor returns, all the stories he's got, don't forget, the Emperor and the Custodes were basically all like best friends. Like, the Emperor used to sit down and talk to the Custodes about, well, I wouldn't say life, but like art and science and all that kind of stuff. He shared his visions with these people. He didn't really share it with the Space Marines or anything like that. He's seen the Custodes as a very close group of people he could share his ambitions with. So I think if Valdor returns, he would have that in his mindset. So for example, imagine Valdor walking in and seeing the Adeptus Ministorum and them worshipping the Emperor as a god. What would his reaction be to that? I think it would be incredible, because he could turn around and just say the Emperor hated the word God. He hated mankind. Worshipping people. This is what he tried to stop, and you worshiping him is basically going against his will. And then you can have the Ministorum say, well, that's heresy. How do you know? It's like, I'm Constantin Valdor. I was served at the Emperor's side. I fought in his battles. You can have all these amazing stories, and where the tension between the Adeptus Ministorum can really start going up, and then maybe you have like Guilliman coming in trying to be like the peacemaker. Like, no, we need these guys for now. Maybe we'll purge these guys later on. Wink, wink, wink. All that kind of stuff. I think it could create some incredible tales for him to come back. And plus, it's bloody Constantin Valdor. It's Constantin Valdor. This guy is like golden balls incarnate. He's an incredible beast. He's amazing. I know we haven't really had anything like his battle prowess when it comes to the Siege of Terror, but I'm sure he's got to get shining lights. I'm sure he's going to be slaying traitors left and right. I'm hopefully he will actually take on a Primarch at the Siege of Terror. I think that would be incredible. And we know, of course, he survives the Siege of Terror. Maybe he could banish a certain demonic Primarch which is at the Siege of Terror. I think that'd be kind of cool. Or, you know, maybe he like defends like the Emperor who's sat on the throne. He's you know, because of course the all the demons underneath the palace and stuff. Maybe he's there like smiting great demons of Khorne or Nurgle or Zinch, or, you know, all the big shooters in the game. Maybe he can really get his time to shine in that situation to really show off that this guy is a beast and he deserves to be around today. All right, Chaperoonios, I think that's enough for me ranting about Constantin Valdor. I think we can all agree that Constantin Valdor is just sheer awesomeness. He is the golden boy. He's the most golden boy that has ever been, and for him to return and just unleash his might to like all the chaos threat. Do you imagine if Constantin Valdor fought Abaddon? I think Abaddon would get an absolute good slapping. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Abaddon, if you came across my boy Constantin Valdor, it's GG, mate. It's game over. Bye bye. Your crusades have come to an end, because that's how much Valdor is a beast. Right, thanks for watching the video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Leave your comments below. Do you think Valdor should return? Do you want Valdor to return? Do you want him to stay away? Do you think Valdor's dead? Where is Valdor? What's he up to? Leave it below and we can have a nice little discussion about it down there as always. Thanks for watching once again. See you in a bit and bye-bye.